Guitar Warehouse von Guitar, unser YouTube-Channel und eine weitere Folge On the Road. Wir unterhalten uns heute mit den Sheepdogs aus Kanada, die unterwegs sind mit den Rival Sons und heute Abend im Backstage in München spielen. Und was die Jungs für Gear spielen, das schauen wir uns jetzt an. Wir unterhalten uns mit Ewan und mit Jimmy. Hi Ewan, man. Nice to meet you.
Good to be here. What's up?
So we're going to talk about his gear a little bit, about your gear. Should we start with the guitars? Oh, yeah, okay. I think you brought two guitars. That's all you brought, right?
Yeah, I only ever just bring these two. These are two Les Paul Customs, both from 1973.
Which one would be your main guitar?
Well, on this tour I'm using the black one more, but this one on the left is the one I use more often probably, but I just go back and forth.
Does the other one go as a backup or... probably the cable, man. Sorry.
No worries.
Is that just a backup guitar, or do you use it as frequent as the other one?
No, I use them pretty much equally. They're both like fairly similar, but there's a fair bit of difference between the two. The black is much heavier than the burst, but similar vibe.
Would you mind getting it out real quick? And so what pickups do you use in that?
I can't remember. It's a guy in Ontario back in Canada that made these. I should know what they are, but I can't remember. But
well, that guy's gonna hate you for that now.
No, I paid for him, so it's not like it was a sponsorship. But Jim would know. But I bought this in Toronto, and I basically, this is the second Les Paul that I got, and I used to play like a Firebird and Epiphone, hollow body, and stuff like that. But once I got this Les Paul, I got this one in Vancouver, and I kind of, once you get into Les Paul, it's like there's no turning back because they're just so comfortable and they're sort of the perfect rock guitar.
So any other specs on that guitar you I mean, just tell me about it a little,
It had some different pickups when I got it, and it had like a kind of I think maybe a cream pick guard on it, so I kind of switched it out for black and put some new pickups in it. I can't remember what was in there. It was definitely set up for more of like a metal vibe, and like I'm more of like kind of a classic rock sounding guitar. So I kind of made a few changes like that and try to make it a little bit more like this guy. And so I wanted to sound more like 1973 and less like, 1988 metal kind of vibes or something like that.
Did a good job on that, gotta say. Did you switch them yourself, or do you have your guitar guy or your guitar tech do that?
I had my tech do it. Actually, I think I had a store in Toronto do it because I'm really bad at gear stuff. Like, I'm very much more a music guy, but
Don't tell anyone. So am I. But don't.
Hey man, there's plenty of good techs out there. I'm good at writing songs and stuff. So
I was gonna say, how about the other one?
Yeah.
Could you show that to us real quick? It's a nice one too, man.
Yeah, it's lighter guitar, thinner neck on it. 73 custom as well, so it's pretty cool that they're both the same year. Right. And I bought this for a pretty good price at a Vancouver pawn shop, and it was a really good deal because
Pretty good price, meaning what?
I think like $2,400, and it's like they probably go for at least $1,200 more than that now. So.
I was gonna say, yeah, and this is in excellent shape. I gotta say, I don't know if you can see it, but this is really, basically flawless. I mean, there's a couple little dings and dongs there, but hey, fair enough. I mean, it's an old guitar, right?
The back is pretty.
Okay. And there we go.
That's all good stuff, right? Belt buckle rash and stuff. So.
Yeah, that's got to be there, right? And any other I mean, are those the original pickups? Sorry.
That's what was in it when I bought it. I think it's the originals. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful guitar. And the binding used to be white. Now it's cream white.
Yeah, it gets a little off white. It's not as off as the other one, but it's fun.
Was that white before? Because this is yellow now.
Yeah, I think that's just like aged by cigarettes and stuff like that. Cigarette smoke. It's funny because I bought this black pickguard and it's like got this white like trim on the edge of the pickguard, and so I was trying to make it look aged like the binding, and so I got like turmeric, like turmeric, the spice, and water, and I kind of rubbed it in to make it like stain, but it didn't stay. It came out, so I'll just have to let that age naturally.
Yeah, just gotta wait another 30 years or something for that to happen.
Yeah, I'm in no rush.
Right.
Yeah.
So, how about your pedal board? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not particularly exciting. It's like all I got is tuner and then this tube screamer. I've tried other distortion or overdrives, and they're just not as, I don't know. I always keep coming back to the tube screamer. I got the mini guy because it takes up less space, and then this tremolo pedal, which is, I think this is Hummingbird. I think it's from Earthquaker Devices, which is like Ohio, I think. Yeah. When we worked with Pat Carney from the Black Keys, who's an Ohio guy, he told me about that company.
I'm gonna ask. You don't have to answer this. Yeah. This is for extra picks, or is it? Okay.
It's like a moon gel.
It's in a.
It's like
not your stack.
No, it's just like moon gels and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, that's quite a small pedal board, gotta say. But hey, if it works, the way you want it, perfect. Why not?
It's all in the fingers, baby. Yeah.
Not the first one to say that, but hey.
I'm probably the worst guitar player to say that too. I'm not like I'm not the greatest, but I don't like a lot of pedals because I want to focus more on the performance, and especially as I'm a singer, kind of first and foremost, I got to focus on that before I really think about too much about sounds, and so I don't like a big pedal board.
Sure. Plus, you got Jimmy and your brother playing guitar as well, right?
But you'll see, Jim doesn't have a big pedal board either, so.
Nothing to see here, I gotta say. So let's not. So, how about your amp, man?
Yeah. Okay. So this is a Supro. I think it's called a Supro Big Star, and I was in Chicago, and we were on tour, and I had some time off, and I went to the famous Chicago Music Exchange store there, but it's like so expensive, it's almost like a museum because it's too expensive, so I kind of left without buying anything, and then I just happened to buy like a Guitar Center, which is like the regular chain in the States for gear, and they had this bad boy on sale, no one was buying it, and so I got it for a good deal, and it's a remake of their old school amps, but it just sounds great, man. It just breaks up in the right kind of way that I like,
I was gonna say, this doesn't look too vintage, This is still new and working and fine. Well, gotta have some new stuff too, right?
I've gigged on it for a year, so it's really new, but I love them. I think they sound great.
Could we get a sound sample? Is that possible?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's and see if this works, Hey, Ollie, my camera dude, there he is. Just tell me if it is too loud, because otherwise everyone else is going to freak out.
I have to play like some clean licks a lot of the times, so I can play softly and get a nice clean sound. It sounds very noisy right now, but I can also get like a dig in and get like a dirtier sound as well. So
I was gonna say, it's super dynamic, and Whoa, thanks, man. Anything to add at this point?
No, I just try to keep it simple and use sweet Les Pauls, and that's about it.
Sweet Les Pauls, and it's all in the fingers. You heard it from Evan, man. And thanks a lot for the interview. And we're gonna talk to Jimmy now. Yeah. Cut right here. Jetzt habe ich den Jimmy neben mir, ebenfalls von den Sheepdogs an der anderen Klampfe. Hey Jimmy, nice meeting you.
Likewise, right on.
So you brought two guitars as well, or is there any more guitars?
This is all I brought for this run. These are my usual two guitars. All right. So we have a '68 Les Paul Custom.
Right. Could you get it out real quick for the cam?
Sure. This was my first Les Paul. I got it when I was 12 years old, and did some trading for it, and ended up with a good deal. And I've had it ever since, and it's been my main touring guitar for a really long time. So. old standby, you know.
I was gonna say the binding is as yellow as Evan's guitar, so Evan's binding on his black LP, but that's it used to be white, I guess, right?
It would have been white originally, yeah.
This looks way nice, I gotta say. You know, I like this.
Yeah, it's a good old machine, you know. It's been good to me for sure.
And could you turn it around? Nah, I thought there was whoa, it cracked at one point.
Oh yeah, the headstock's been broken in 3 places. And,
Oh my god.
you know, it's a player's guitar for sure, but yeah,
Out of life, yeah.
yeah, non-original finish on the neck, I guess, but original finish out everywhere else. And it's an original 3 pickup too, which is pretty rare.
I was gonna say, yeah. Do you ever use the middle one?
It's actually a dummy pickup. So it's I've tried every combination to try and get this in there, you know, but you know, I had a 4-way Les Paul switch for a while, and I had a push-pull to get it in, but I couldn't find it useful, so I went back to standard Les Paul, you know.
Sure. Do you do all the work on your guitars by yourself, or do you have it?
I haven't done anything on this for a long time, so I usually take it somewhere. Yeah.
Kind of too valuable to maybe screw it up if you do it yourself, or?
Well, I'm okay at, you know, I'm pretty decent with a soldering iron, but when it comes to, you know, we fly these guitars all the time, and they get knocked around a lot, so I think it's important to have it done professionally, you know.
Yeah, sure. How about the other one? Show us the gold top. Ah, beautiful.
This one's actually newer to me. I've had it for about a year. This is a 69 Deluxe that's been converted to standard size humbuckers.
I was gonna say usually goes with P90s, right?
Yeah, this Deluxe would be mini humbuckers originally. Yeah, but somebody did the conversion. I think back in the day, because these are late '60s T-top Gibson pickups, so they're what would have been in there originally if it was a Les Paul standard, you know.
Damn, this guitar has seen some action, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good old machine for sure. Yeah, and again, you know, broken headstock. It's not a virgin.
Dude, do me a favor, Ollie, and film the back of the guitar. This is
Yeah. Yeah, they're both, they got some buckle rash for sure.
players' guitars, as you said, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know. But
Which-
it's nice and light, you know, and it's very resonant. Yeah, check it out.
Actually, yeah, not that heavy for a Les Paul. Gotta say, it's a nice guitar, man. I'm keeping this. So, which one would be your favorite one out of these two?
I've been using this one lately, but this is the go-to for sure, the custom, you know, just because it's home for me. I've been playing it for so many years, you know.
Sure, yeah. So, about your amp setup.
Yeah.
That's
it's a bit of a unique setup, I guess. I used to use these are 1974X Marshall extension cabinets.
right.
So my rig years ago was 2 of these with the amps inside, and then 2 of the cabinets. So it'd be a stack of 4.
Okay.
So now I just use the cabinets, and I bought this, which is basically 2 18-watt Marshalls condensed into 1 amp, you know. And man, this thing's just super durable. I love the sound of EL84s. You know.
Yeah. Plus, you can't really screw too much up with an orange. You know, at least that's what people say. I don't own an orange, but I get that a lot.
Yeah, it's the first one I've owned. You know, I really dig it. Lots of clarity. You know, it has 2 channels. So this bottom channel is the old school channel, and then the top one's a little more modern, a little more gainy. And I don't really use the top channel, but.
Is that your model, or are you lending it? Like, no, how do you say, borrowing it, like for a tour? You're shipping this.
Yeah, we ship our gear. So this is my amp that I've used it probably for 3 years now, and I've been really digging it. And these cabinets sound great. They're open back, and they have the G12M Heritage speakers. So they're 20-watt greenbacks.
Yeah, sure.
And they're pre-aged, I guess. So they sound really cool, you know. Yeah.
And you've the choice of the microphone. Okay, this is probably not guitar stuff, but I got to go into this. What mic is that? Is that?
I couldn't tell you the make of it. Our sound guy can tell you better, Mark. But it's basically a solid state U47 copy.
Oh wow!
So it's a large diaphragm condenser, so it has lots of clarity and body, you know.
That you usually don't see those mics in front of guitar amps, at least like on stage, right? Or maybe in the studio, but okay, cool. Yeah. So about your pedals.
I don't use too much, you know, but it's a pretty simple pedal rig. My go-to pedal for years has been the Mxr Dyna Cop, and I have an original that I bought, when I was just starting guitar, and they used a specific transistor chip on the inside that they used on the old script logo ones. And
how old is this one, the MXR?
It's it's a reissue, actually.
No, sorry, I was talking about the classic.
Oh, this one here. It's, I don't know, probably 2000s, I guess. It's not very old.
It looks so vintage, really. I mean,
It does, yeah. It's not though. It's a modern pedal, and so is this one. My original broke down, so it's in on repair right now, and they just happened to find a stockpile of the original transistor chips that they used on the original script logo. Yeah. They found probably 500 of them, so they made, a short run of these pedals.
So you bought 400 of them, just in case?
Yeah. Well, I bought a backup, and it's perfect because a regular Dyna Cop doesn't react the same way, Right. So this basically gives me as much sustain as I want, right, without changing the tone too much. Yeah. So it's a great kind of boost, and it's great for slide as well, and just a boost for solos. If I want a certain kind of feedback, right, if I want to play the feedback, it does that too.
I'd love to get to hear that in a second, if we could get a sound sample, maybe the Dyna, and as well the fuzz, because I see you dialed it all the way in, which is I'd assume quite a heavy sound. You're just using it for leads, or
just for one song. Feeling Good it's for.
All right.
And there's a big fuzz riff, and I do kind of a feedback intro, so it does really nice controlled feedback as well.
Okay, yeah, I got to hear that too. So if you don't mind, let's get a little sound sample, right?
Yeah. Cool. It's going to be loud.
The mean part. Good hearing is overrated anyways, right? So, alles für euch.
The compressor sounds like this. Gives you endless sustain,
Yeah, I hear that.
But still lots of clarity.
Totally. I mean, I was surprised by Evan's setup as well. All the clarity from the Supra, but definitely, yeah. I mean, this is a big thing for you guys, right? It's got to be super clear if you want it to, right?
It has to be transparent, yeah. I've never been a big fan of overdrive pedals because they tend to muffle the sound to me, and I prefer the sound of a plug straight into an amp. Right. But if I need the sustain to get controlled feedback or this and that, that Mxr Dyna Cop will give me that.
Okay, so since you don't like overdrive, let's try the fuzz.
Yeah.
Ah, nasty.
It's pretty nasty for sure.
Love it, man.
The goal is for it to be gnarly,
Yeah, sure, man. That's what you use a fuzz pedal for. Exactly. So, thanks a lot for this. Do you have anything to add at this point?
I guess that's it. That's my rig, and I try and play straight into the amp as much as I can and just control my clean and dirty tones with the volume of the guitar.
Gotta say, like for a blues rock band or southern rock band, that's a pretty heavy metal approach, and I love it.
Yeah, right on.
Thanks a lot, man, and have a good concert, right?
Yeah, thanks very much.
Besten Dank fürs Einschalten, Leute. Das war unser Interview mit den Sheepdogs, mit Ewan und Jimmy. Und wenn ihr aufgepasst habt, habt ihr mitbekommen, dass die beiden wohl zu der Sorte von Gitarristen gehören, die eher auf weniger Equipment fahren und dafür mehr den Blues aus den Fingern holen wollen. So hat es Ewan ja auch gesagt. Erzählt uns doch, wie ihr das handhabt. Seid ihr eher die Technik-Nerds oder muss das ganz straight einfach nur in Amp gehen? Oder, keine Ahnung, vielleicht noch ein Tuner, das ist okay. Schreibt es in die Kommentare, abonniert den Kanal. Bis nächstes Mal. Ciao.